Hi everyone. In this video, we are going to learn how to tie the clove hitch. So with that in mind, let's get started. So the clove hitch is a knot that's used to attach the bitter end of a line to something else. This is one of a few knots that will be used for this purpose. This one just happens to be the simplest. It can also be used as a loose binding, and it's the starting point for various lashings. Where you'll see this on Niagara is it's the knot that's used to make the ratlins on the shrouds, and they use the slipped version of it when securing the hammock cloths. So let's learn how to tie it. So there are two ways that I want to show you how to make this. The first is tied with the bitter end, and the second is tied on a bight. So first with the bitter end, you're going to take your bitter end and pass it over the object that you're hitching to. The clove hitch is a little weird in that it doesn't really work with oddly dimensioned objects. Basically, the rounder the object you're hitching to, the more secure this knot will be. But you're going to put the bitter end over the object, bring it up and across so that you have an X. Then you're going to take the bitter end and pass it under here, and pull tight, and you have your clove hitch. You'll know you've done it right because it'll resemble an X. Now the nice thing about the clove hitch is that if you need to adjust the legs of the knot, you can just loosen it and then retighten. You don't actually have to untie the entire knot and retie it. So that's pretty neat. Now the slipped clove hitch, which I mentioned is used on the hammock cloths, is tied in a similar way. It's tied in the exact same way up until the end, actually. But what you're going to do is, instead of putting the bitter end all the way through, you're going to make a draw loop, put a bight in the bitter end, pull tight, and there you have the slipped clove hitch. Then you just pull on the bitter end, and the knot falls apart. Now next up is how to tie this on a bight. This is useful if you want to just slip it over a vertical post or something like that. But you're going to take the middle of your line, and you're going to form a loop, and then next to it you're going to form a second loop. So you'll notice that it goes over, under, and then over, under. So take these two loops, place them right over left, and you'll see there that you've got the makings of the clove hitch. So just slide it over, pull tight, and there you have it. So once more for each of those. Bitter end over, across, and then under, and pull tight. And remember, if you're making the slipped version, just put a bight in the bitter end before you pass it under. And then for on a bight, make a loop, make a second loop, pass the right loop on top of the left loop, slide it onto the object, and pull tight. And there you have the clove hitch. Thank you.